he hasn't been on your team in a couple of years. When you see Trey get the kind of contract that you got today with a division rival, what your emotions when you see that?
That was a big one, but well deserved. Look, Trey's one of the best players in the game, and he's done well over the years, and we won a championship together. That means a lot to me, and I wish him all the best. I know he's going to be in our division, so we got to figure out how to get him out and keep him off the bases.
Does it get any more normal as more of these guys who were part of that team move on to other places, or does it still feel strange?
Well, yeah, no, it's still, because especially now that we're going to run into him quite a bit, you still have that bond, with those guys, and it seems like the Phillies got a lot of our guys over there now. So, it'll be good to see him, but also, like I said, we got to compete against him, and we got to figure out how to get him out consistently. So, but like I said, he's a big part of what we did in 19. He was a big part of that, and I always wish these guys the best, and good for him, that he got the money that he deserved, and he's going to help a good team in our division try to win a championship.
You guys brought in Jamer Candelario. Where do you envision him fitting in next year? I know he can do a few different things.
Yeah, he gives us a little versatility, but for the most part, he's going to compete for the third base job. I know Carter's missed a year, but we still got a lot of value in Carter, and I talked to Carter the other day. He's been working out. He's been hitting. He says he feels really good. He's coming along, so we expect him to be ready to go in spring training, and he's gonna fight for a job, third base job. If that works, yeah, then J-Mer could do a lot of different things for us. So I'm excited about that. I've had him in Chicago when he was young. I know him. He's an unbelievable kid. He's got great character. He's a leader in the clubhouse. So for me, it was when we talked about getting him, it kind of was a no-brainer.
So you're saying he'll compete first and foremost, and then if Carter wins out that spot, then we can figure out where else.
Yeah, we'll figure out what else we could do with him. But he's done. He could play first base. He could DH. We could do a couple of different things with him.
Has Carter been throwing or just hitting?
No, he's been throwing. Yeah. And like I said, he's still on a throwing program, and he should be ready to go in spring training.
What's your concern just on how? That's a major elbow surgery. I know he's not a pitcher, but what's just your concern level? How he'll bounce back?
Well, he's going to bounce back. What I want to see him do, because third base, you got different angles on throwing, and we want to make sure he gets his reps. And if he comes back and he's ready to do all those things, and he can compete for that third base job, then he will.
You talked about starting pitching in the season. You guys need a better starting pitching heading this next season. Do you feel like you guys want to see that in free agency, them pick up some more starting pitching and some guys to kind of bolster the rotation?
Yeah, look, we got some. As you know, we got some starters, already in our rotation, but we don't feel like we have enough. Yeah, as you know, as the season goes along, things happen. We do need, especially if we can get another veteran starter, be great, one or two. So. I know, I talked to Riz about it, and as you guys know, I truly believe in starting pitching, and that's what we're looking to do right now.
Are Gore and Cavalli at the normal place they would be this time of the offseason, or is either one of them in any kind of rehab?
No, they're right where they need to be right now, and they're taking their winter and getting ready for spring training as they normally do. So, Cade said he's ready to fire the ball and I told him, well, don't do that yet. I mean, we got plenty of time, but he's fired up. So, and McKenzie's same. I mean, he's ready to go. Look forward to watching both those guys healthy in spring training.
Dave, you've talked in the past about watching a lot of the season back in October and November. Have we done that this year?
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? I like what I saw towards the end. Our defense was better. Our hitting, our young hitters got a little bit better. We talked a lot about the chase rate, and the three guys that we really worked with, they did improve a lot. So, we're hoping that we improve that a little bit more. But, I want them to come to spring training knowing is that everybody starts. We're young, but we can compete. And I don't want them to think that, hey, we're rebuilding no, we're here to compete as many games as possible. And that's going to be the message. I've set that message after, at the end of the season. And I want them to understand that, hey, losing 100 games is not acceptable. It's not, and we're going to get better. So I want to come to spring training knowing that we're going to compete and compete to win every day.
The three guys on chase rate are CJ, Luis, and Kibber.
Yep.
And then when you do watch those games back, starting pitching, you guys are the worst ERA in the league rotation. Is there any commonality there? Is it more personnel? Is it case by case? I guess where do you see the cause of that?
No, yeah, one had a lot to do with our defense early. It really did, and I think we improved once we got CJ playing shortstop and moved Louis over to second base. And Vargas did a great job for us at third base, and like I said, we got Jamer, who's right now between him and Carter, we're going to play third base, so we're definitely going to get better. But we definitely need more depth out of our pitching. We need guys to go a little deeper in games. Our bullpen, I think, was a big strength of ours last year, but we can't do that. I can't do that to them again this year where they covered so many innings. So, we definitely got to improve in our starting pitching.
Are you comfortable having guys like Paolo and Corey Abbott do kind of like a split role, or do you want more dedicated starting pitchers?
No, I thought they did a fine job last year. If we could utilize any of those two as a starter and the other guy in the bullpen, we'll do that. But when we get to spring training, we'll stretch them out and then decide then what we're going to do with them. But having both of them gives us a lot of, like I said, a lot of versatility that they can do both.
In terms of the starting pitching, you guys have Cade Cavalli coming up. How much of him have you seen, and what's your assessment of him?
I've seen a lot of them in the minor leagues. We didn't see much of him in the major leagues, but this guy's a competitor. He's young, but I know that he wants. He's eager. He's hungry. So I'm looking forward to getting him. Getting him in spring training and seeing what he can do. I mean, I think he's going to have an unbelievable career. But like I said, he's still young, and he's still young to pitching. The biggest thing is that he comes to spring training healthy.
In terms of that youth and obviously it's a developmental path, what role do you see him playing for the team next year?
I got him penciled in as a starter for us. Yeah, I mean, and rightfully so. I think he's earned it. Like I said, he checked all the boxes for us last year in AAA, and he was going to get an opportunity to pitch. Obviously, got hurt, and we're looking forward to getting him back.
Davey, do you at this point view Strasburg as a part of your rotation next year, or is that a bonus if it happens?
Yeah, look, I'm not going to put any pressure or any more pressure on Strasburg. I know he's rehabbing right now. He's progressing. So when he's ready, and we deem he's ready, it's going to be awesome to see him out in that mound. And I promise the fans that when he does step on the mound, it'll be at home. So when he does that, we'll start him at home.
You've been through this process with him for a while now and seen some progress, and then something happens that really sets him back. Is there a point that you have to see like legitimate progress there to know that he can be a part of this, or is there a point that you say we can't just keep doing the same thing over and over?
Yeah, he's got to pitch. He's got to pitch. He's got to get on the mound every 5 days consistently before we deem that he's got, that he can help us. And he can. And honestly, it's more for him than anything else. Up to succeed, regardless of what. You got to remember, this guy for so many years, he's one of the best in baseball, and he's gone through some troubles because of injuries, and so when he comes back, I want him to come back fully healthy. I want him to go down and pitch as much as he needs to pitch to get back up here. And I'm not going to say he's going to be the guy that he was, 6-7 years ago, but Steven Strasburg is a competitor, and he's going to compete, and that's what he does really well. So when we get him back, it'll be like signing that free agent that we were looking to sign, and we'll all be happy when he does come back.
With such a young team and the pitch clock obviously coming in, you have a lot of players that have already played under the pitch clock rules. Do you think that's an advantage? Do you think it's going to be a reason that you guys are going to get as up to speed on that sort of thing versus other teams?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to help us for sure. I mean, these guys have done it; they understand it, and they do like to work fast. We got a lot of our young pitchers do work fast, so I think it's going to definitely benefit us.
What about for your hitters, younger hitters, even guys that are veterans? Is there anything you guys are working on to kind of get them adjusted, get them up to speed? I know early in the minor league season last year, there was a lot of auto balls, strikes, that sort of thing, with pitchers and hitters that were kind of all balanced, not really, necessarily like in tune with the rule changes.
Yeah, they got to understand that they need to get, once they swing, the pitcher gets the ball, they got to be ready to go. I mean, and they got to understand they got to pick up the signs from third base coach and get ready to hit right away. I mean, there's not going to be no and they're going to really enforce it. They told us that right from day one. It's going to be enforced. So unless they want to get called a strike, they better be ready to go and get in that box.
You guys have the top pick in the Rule 5 draft. What kind of player would you like to see added to your roster?
We're right now we're talking about all kinds of different options, whether it's a pitcher, whether it's a position player. So when the time comes, we'll try to pick the guy we feel like that could actually really help us, because like I said, we are young, and I'd rather have a pitcher, because you could use him as if it's a young player. It'll be tough, if he's 19 to 20, to just put him in and try to get him constant at bats. So, but we got, we're weighing in all our options and see what's going to be best.
When you think of the starting, you mentioned starting pitching earlier. You guys have kind of added some guys from your more reclamation projects, not so sure things. For that role, would you like to have someone a bit more of a sure thing who has a proven track record, rather than maybe taking a swing on a guy who's coming off the bat?
Yeah, we right now we're looking at a lot of different options, a lot of different guys. But yeah, definitely want a guy that's that we know that could give us some innings. I mean, we need a guy that could give us 160 to 180 innings, and those are the guys we're looking at right now.
What did you learn about yourself as a manager last year, having a younger team versus the past? You had a bunch of veterans in your locker room. You
You know what? I know that I have patience, but last year I learned a whole lot more patience. Yeah. But you know what though? I sat back and I often caught myself laughing at some of the things that we've done, and the fact that I love the guys, the way they played, the way they went, with the energy that these guys had every day. So I'm looking forward to watching these guys grow and mature, and so it'll be a lot of fun for all of us. But it was trying. I'm not gonna say I've been on teams where we win quite a bit, and losing like that was not fun. But I don't think anybody had fun in that clubhouse, and that's one of the big things the takeaways I took on my exit meetings is that all those guys were disappointed at losing so many games, so they want to get better and they want to compete.
What's your off-season style as a manager? Do you talk to the players a lot? You kind of let them do their own thing? You WhatsApping them?
I've let them do their own thing for a little while, and then I started talking to them, now and trying to let them know. And for the most part, I'm getting videos of them hitting, working out, and they send me all this stuff. So it's pretty cool to watch these guys. I can tell you now, I've seen Lane Thomas already hitting on the field and working on trying to stay on the ball, hitting the ball in the right center field. So it's kind of nice that these guys really took it to heart about being ready. Like I said, being ready day one of spring training and make that our opening day, so that we could work on baseball stuff and not worry about getting ready physically.
Who's been like really enthusiastic to show you, like, look at what I'm working on?
Oh, there's all of them. I mean, K-Bears, we've been hitting. Louis looks great. Louis lost about, and he looks amazing. I mean, 9% of body fat. He looks really good. I mean, so he took it to heart that he needs to be more agile. He needs to be quicker on his feet. So he looks great. Victor Wenton's playing winter ball and is doing really well. So working on some of the things that Darnell wanted to work on, and I think Darnell's actually headed over there this coming week to go watch him play a little bit and talk to him. So we got some things going on, and we got some. We're definitely vested in all our players.
How does a more agile Luis Garcia impact the way that your infield looks?
Oh, it'd be awesome. I mean, he's got good hands. We talked a lot about him, his first step, and we think that this will help him out a lot. So, and it's also going to help him run a little bit better. And as I told Louis, hey, you definitely got some pop in your bat, but right now, let's just worry about the chases and putting the ball in play. You hit the ball hard when you do hit it, using the whole field. And if you could hit 40 doubles, the results are going to be you probably hitting 20 home runs, in the meantime. So that's something that he wanted to work on this winter.
Is the quickness even more important with not as much shifting too, because he has to cover?
He's got to cover a lot, yeah. So and I think, honestly, if you look at the other side, I think it's going to help our hitting out as well, with CJ and Louis and even Jamer, who I've known, who does hit the ball a lot in that hole. I think it's going to help him out a lot as well.
Do you go through the offseason, any moves you guys make, thinking about the rule changes and how they might fit in better than maybe a year ago? Maybe you wouldn't have thought this is a guy to go after?
Yeah, no, this is this is the reason why we looked at we had a list of non-tender guys that we thought could fit, and we looked at Jamer and his numbers and the amount of ground balls he did hit to the pole side. That we thought, hey, it could definitely help him. And here's a guy he's hit doubles before. I think last year after talking to him for a while, he got caught up in really trying to hit home runs. And I told him, I said, let's get you back to using the whole field, and good things will happen.
David, you talked about Victor playing winter ball. Your general opinion about over the years how winter ball can help a guy. Each situation's different, and you played about 35 years ago.
Thanks.
Well, as a man of experience, your general opinion about how it can help certain guys, whether they're prospects or even some young veterans like Victor.
Yeah, no. Hey, look, I'll be the first one to tell you it helped me out a lot. And, I talk about it all the time. I started my career and I hit 139 in the big leagues, and Dallas Green, said, "What are you going to do this winter?" I said, "I'm going to go home and work out, get stronger." And he said, "No, you're going to go to winter ball, play winter ball. It's going to help you." And I did, and it really did help me. It helped me know a lot about myself. I worked a lot on just trying to get on base. I really knew what balls I can hit, and it prepared me a lot better. So, and then next year, hitting the ball really well and doing well. So, for these guys, I encourage these guys, to go play winter ball, especially young guys, because it definitely does help them. Definitely helps them understand how to hit breaking balls a little bit better, because they do throw a lot of breaking balls there, and it does help them just get them to understand themselves. The more baseball you play, the more you're on the field, you get to understand who you are and what you can be.
What are some areas of the team you guys can look to improve via free agency or trade market this offseason?
Like I said before, it's adding some starting pitching, and probably adding another left-handed bat. I think if we do that, I think and fill in some of the areas that we need to get filled in.
Does that
When you-
bat?
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Does that bat fit in the outfield most likely, or do you think there are enough moving parts you could do it different ways?
I think we have enough moving parts that we could do different things. I like a guy that could be versatile if possible. We'll see. We're kind of weighing in all the options of what we want to do, whether it's an outfielder or we could platoon. One could be Stone Garrett that we got from Arizona. That we kind of like the way he swings the bat. Or it could be an infield that we find out there that we can get, and like I said, he can hit righty really well.
It sounds like you're willing to put Joey wherever the need is in the field. Is that an accurate way to look at it, or do you say no, he's best at this position?
Well, I would really like to keep Joey at first base, and the days that he doesn't, DH him, to give him a breather. I know he was a rookie, but he was an older rookie, so his days off would probably be DHing. If we could find someone that could possibly maybe play first base and play some out left field, that'd be great.
I was gonna, on that note, ask about the DH position. How big of a priority as a manager, for that is that for you?
Well, we definitely would like to have one, but like I said, I think we have enough moving parts where if we had a platoon, two guys, that we could do it. But it'd be nice to have a big bat in our lineup.
The bullpen was so effective last year, but they were also really overworked. What are you going to be looking for just to keep that level of efficiency from them, or perhaps even improve it?
Yeah, like I said, I think we got our starting pitchers got to go deeper in games. They really do, and then so if they can do that, I think our bullpen's going to be really, really, really good again. These guys endured a lot last year, and they pitched a lot. Unfortunately, we made a lot of guys 1 inning plus guys, which definitely helps. And not just us, but around the league, there's going to be a lot. We talked a lot this winter about guys that we can do that with, that can maybe help us, whether they were starters before, and we're going to make them long guys. When we go to spring training, we'll definitely have a plan on what guys can really help us out in the bullpen, going multiple innings. I think it's going to be important because you never know, right? But I think with Josiah, Cade comes in with McKenzie, Gore, and even Corbin, who's to me, he's going to be our workhorse. Because he takes the ball every 5 days. So I think those guys need to understand that it's not just 5 innings. We need them to go 6+ innings and be consistent, throwing 100, 105 pitches.
Dave, you mentioned those three guys earlier. You wanted to work on their chase rates a bit. What stood out just looking back at their season?
I think once their chase rate went down, they hit the ball fairly hard. And for guys like CJ, as we talked about, if he gets on base for us, with his speed, he can make things happen on the bases as well. So I think he finally understood that a little bit better, and it's something that he really wants to work on, in spring training. Just kind of trying to get on base, not trying to do too much, understanding count, hitting in counts. And for me, some of those young guys as well is talk about situational hitting, and knowing what to do. Guys on second base with no outs, knowing what to go do. Guys on third base with less than 2 outs. We got to get better at that. We got to drive in those runs. If you look at our lineup, we don't have that guy that's going to hit 30, 40 home runs, but we do have guys that can put the ball in play and drive in runs otherwise.
Is that hard to teach at the major league level?
No, I mean,
More selective approach.
oh, we like I said, we were pretty. I thought we were pretty successful with CJ. It really was. I mean, when he came over to us, he hit 225 for San Diego. I think for us, he ended up hitting like 260. And because, his chase rate went from 46% to 36%. So if we could get him down in the lower, even 30s next year, he's going to be that much better.
Why was it important to have Vargas back for next season?
Oh, I love his energy. I love the way he plays the game, and he was really good for our younger players. He really was. So, when I talked to him about coming back, I told him, I said, you got to consistently bring that energy every day, no matter what your role is. But you got to be that guy. You got to be that guy in the clubhouse. You got to be that guy during the game. So, and he understands that. But I love having him around. Plus, he helped us. He did really well, and I think he found out a lot about himself. Going to AAA and working. And then getting an opportunity again to come play in the big leagues. I think he knows who he can be and who he should be, and he did really well for us.
Hey, Davey.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
How's Strasburg?
You know what? He's coming along. He's progressing. He's not throwing yet, but he's definitely gaining a lot more strength. So for me, that's a good sign.
What do you expect? When do you think he'll be ready?
You know what? I'm not going to put any expectations right now on him. All I can tell you is that he's working really hard. He wants to pitch again, and that's a plus for us. So when he's ready, and we deem that he's ready, we hope that that'll be sometime this year and soon. Then he's going to be like signing a big free agent for us. He really is.
Katie, with Corbin, what's been on his off-season to-do list that you want to see from him?
He's been working out. He's been getting ready, getting stronger. I think he's another guy that learned a lot of who he is last year. Look, this guy, endured a lot last year, and the fact that he took the ball every 5 days. I talked to him a lot about doing different things with him, maybe putting him in the bullpen, maybe, and he wanted the ball, and I appreciate that from him. So. Right now he's still our guy, and I expect him to come next year, pitching the way he pitched, the last month of the season, and because of our defense got better, winning games for us.
Has Josiah started the mechanical switches that you've been talking about all last year?
He started a little bit of it. The whole, was trying to get him more, like we talked about, more over his front side, not arm side, not leaking arm side. So he is starting. Until he really gets on the mound and really starts going, you can't really do much. But I know he's working on a lot of hip mobility, to fix his front hip, which will definitely help him out a lot. So, as soon as he starts throwing, I know Hickey had plans to go down and see him and start talking to him about, what needs to happen, to get him where he needs to be.
How do you feel about not having the shifts anymore?
I think we're going to hit a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, I think I played in an era where, there was no shifting, and I liked it. And, hopefully our hitters will understand, that just to put the ball in play a little bit more, and we'll start moving the ball a little bit better.
There were too many players around that played without the shift, right?
I don't think that. I hardly think there's hardly any anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to be weird.
Yeah. It'll be nice not to see the third baseman sprinting the right field and,
or towards the pop that would have been an easy catch, right?
Yeah. Well, the pitcher running at third base trying to catch a
I've
pop
been
up.
talking to some guys like Roberts and people in LA. They think they're going to micromanage even without the shift.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I mean, who knows? You might see a left fielder playing short right field. I mean, there's going to be people trying to figure out how to do things. So, because there's no rules that the outfielders can't move around. So,
No.
Speaking of outfielders moving around, are you having Lane work as if he's preparing for right or left field this offseason?
he's Lane. Lane's going to. I told Lane to be ready to play everywhere. For right now, I think he did really well playing right field. But he's a guy to me that could play all three and play them well.
Thank you, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay.
La MLS está de vuelta con la jugada, los goles, las tarjetas, sus fanáticos, todo a través de la máquina deportiva.